past couple of weeks, USC has got the job done at home. Obviously, they took down Iowa, ranked team at the Coliseum. It was a rainy day, but the Trojans got that second half shutout, and they got a really good second half defensive performance as well against Northwestern. Defensively, I think it's fair to say that this team in the second half just looks like a completely different team than the first half. What are your thoughts on that Iowa game and what USC was able to show?
Yeah, Casey, it's very interesting. And as much as we have, I think, trashed the defense this year, which they have looked really bad at times, they have very much gotten better over the last couple of weeks. And the second halves, especially, are phenomenal. I'm trying to remember the exact point total, but they haven't allowed more than 6 points in any half the last 3 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. Because this week was 0. Northwestern was 3. Was Nebraska 6? I want to say it was 6. Is that right?
Think it's right. They actually allowed only 3 points in the second half.
Yeah, it's 6 total points they've allowed in the last 3 halves of football, in the last 3 second halves of football, which is incredibly interesting. Granted, they're not against the best offenses. They were against a hobbled Nebraska team, a Northwestern team, which is fine, but nothing special. And of course, Iowa. Iowa's offense is no. I'm not going to compliment them. I was going to try to say
the first half.
I was going to try and compliment them, but I can't do it. It is very interesting how good Danton Lynn's second half adjustments were, because I remember this is what he did last year too. This is what he was good at. His second half at halftime, he always made good adjustments, and I was really interested in how well they would play against Iowa because they were getting beat up the first half. That Iowa is one of, if not the best offensive lines in football. And the defensive line got after them in the second half after being bullied in the first.
Yeah, because it's interesting now. I mean, you talked about some of those teams. There are definitely teams that have strengths. Like Iowa's defense is always good. Northwestern has had, a good run game, we'll say. It's hard to compliment Northwestern, if I'm being completely honest. Michigan, can be dangerous. But Oregon is so well-rounded. Like, they're such a complete team. I wouldn't say they're the most complete team in the country, because I do think the wide receiver core is pretty weak. All things considered,
they're beat up. That's why
they're beat up and not deep, is what I'll say. But I think it's fair to say they're one of the most complete teams in the country. They're the best passing defense. They rush better than any team in the country. I mean,
really?
I think they're the best rushing team in the Big Ten. I actually have this all written out for my broadcast this weekend. They are the number 1 rushing offense in the Big Ten, 8th in the country.
Yep.
They don't turn the ball over a lot. They only have 8 turnovers this year. That's the 3rd fewest in the country. Total offense, they're 3rd in the Big Ten, 2nd in scoring offense. I mean, I can keep reading these off. They also don't give up a lot of sacks. I mean, USC's D-line has seen ebbs and flows this year. It might not be able to eat a whole lot against Dante Moore. So USC is going to absolutely have to stop the run, but what do you think they're going to have to do against Oregon?
It's a lot of things. It really is. And I think that's the problem, because as much as I want this team to win, as much as I am rooting for USC to win, I have long time had this as a loss. But I very much think they can win. All that being said, Oregon has the number 1 pass defense. I don't think that is necessarily representative of how good they actually are. I think to say that I think they are worse than that. I'm trying to find the exact. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up this exact number here right now. Elijah Surratt and who was it? And there it is. Omar Cooper went for 177 yards on this team, or 179, yards on this Oregon pass defense. That is the only competent offense who Oregon has really played, especially passing wise. For being honest, it is the only competent offense.
I mean, I'd maybe throw, at the time, Penn State in there. I mean, they put up 24 points. But
I wouldn't say passing offense.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, Drew Eller in that game.
Specifically what I'm thinking.
No, that's a fair point. I mean, Drew Eller only went for 137. So, that's a fair point. Yeah, I mean, especially these last 4 weeks where they only played, Minnesota. They don't have a good passing game at all. Iowa doesn't. Wisconsin doesn't. Rutgers doesn't. They haven't been battle tested in a while.
No, that's the thing. It's like, so we said this last week and it ended up being not true. We said that if USC could punch Iowa in the mouth and get off to a quick lead, it'll be hard for USC to come back. Iowa to come back. Ended up being the inverse. Ended up being USC goes down, has to come back. Massive culture win, which we didn't even mention earlier. Just as far as USC goes, that's one of the biggest culture wins I think USC has had in
I think it proved
maybe ever.
I think it proved that they're
They
worthy
have
of
they
the
have
Big
fight in them. They have fight
Ten.
in them, in which you cannot say that Lincoln Riley teams of the past did. That
Yeah.
is what I am interested by them in. This is going. I'm going back to my point, which I started like 2 minutes ago now. Jacoby Lane and Makai Lemon are Elijah Surratt and Omar Cooper are great. Jacoby Lane and Makai Lemon are as a duo a lot better. I would say 5 to 10 times better than them. They are the second. I'm just gonna say they're the second best wide receiver duo in the country. Don't hate me, but it's Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate. They are the best wide receiver
I
duo.
agree with you for the record.
Lemon and Lane is a very close second, though. Very close second. And Oregon has not played anyone near that level of, I think, just pure skill at that wide receiver position.
Yeah, and I mean, like Makai has just gotten better too. Like he is making
Yes.
even better catches. That one where he had to, navigate a hospital ball and catch it head high and basically off his helmet. That was insane. Jacoby continues to
Be a very solid
be
player.
he's had the drop problem, but he's still making really good catches. And how about King Miller? I mean, King Miller he's coming to his own, and that's not even mentioning the fact that Wayman Jordan was practicing this.
Yeah, but Lincoln Riley did say he didn't think he was going to play.
True, but I mean, you never know. Yeah, you're right. I mean, it doesn't matter. The point is, King Miller has been electric. I mean, he didn't have the biggest game against Iowa, but in his credit, like it is the rain and it's Iowa's run defense.
He had a
Oregon's
very solid game, though.
yeah, it was. I mean, especially for him, like it
It wasn't
wasn't
anything
bad.
special. But like the guy's still averaging like 8 yards, almost 8 yards a carry, which is crazy.
Yeah. You talked about Oregon's pass defense. Let's look at the rushing defense. They give up just over 100 rush yards per game. That's sixth in the Big Ten. I think if King Miller can get established early on, I mean, that's the part of USC's game that isn't really affected by the road. I feel like the run game has stayed consistent.
That Notre
Pretty
Dame
much
one
the
wasn't
way.
great, but yeah,
Yeah, Notre Dame wasn't great, but like Nebraska,
yeah,
so and I mean, arguably, I wasn't at Nebraska is the only game I'm going to miss this season when it's all said and done.
yeah.
But I think the Nebraska environment was a lot tougher than Notre Dame, because a lot
Ooh,
of
I'm not
USC
gonna say that.
the blackout, man, the
I'm
blackout.
not gonna say a lot tougher.
I think it was tougher.
Maybe.
And the point is, USC handled business. They almost handled business. If I'm being honest, I don't think the road environment has phased USC a whole lot this year. I think that's kind of overrated. Like,
So can I pull up a stat for you? Because
what
let me pull up some stats real quick because I saw a rather unfortunate. I'm gonna find this really quickly, so keep talking.
can I say?
Um,
Why? Well,
it's
I don't think they lost against Illinois because it was the road.
yes, but here I'm gonna show you this. This is Jeff Schwartz. Now he's an Oregon alum, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
But Fox Sports radio guy. Here, I'm going to share my screen real quick just so we can look at this because it's a comparison of USC at home versus on the road, and it is rather damning. Can you see my screen?
no, not yet.
Oh, forgot to share it. There we go. So USC at home, 45.3 points per game, away 27.5. Points allowed at home, 19.2 compared to 25.5 on the road. And you just kind of go down the list. It's a little staggering, the
Yeah,
numbers.
but they played Missouri State and Georgia Southern at home. Like,
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. They were, yeah. But I did think I'd share that.
like you're kind of right, but like in the two road losses, they still scored 32 against Illinois.
Yeah.
And against Notre Dame, they put up 24 and I mean, I think they lose against Notre Dame because of some incompetent play calling by
Yeah.
Lincoln Riley. I think that's fair. They lost against Illinois. Let's be
Dare
honest.
I say the same thing? Dare I say the same thing of scoring too quick?
Go for it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Well,
what
also, I mean, the fumbles at the goal line really helped out USC, so that was just kind of a weird game to
this is
sort
true
of
right
judge.
here. I just want to point this out from William. Yeah, this is definitely true.
Yeah.
I could pull that up super quickly actually. But trying to find out what the best way to articulate this. But I do think this game is going to all come down to one person. It's going to come down to Jaden Mayava because wasn't great versus Notre Dame. He was fine, bad versus Nebraska, and he was pretty good versus Illinois. Made that one interception, some errors. If he is on his game, then I think USC has a real shot.
And it's not going to rain too, which
yes,
it's going to be cold though.
Well, yeah, but
it's 48. I
cold
think,
and rainy.
but it's going to feel like 45 or less probably with the wind chill.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be the perfect conditions, and the crowd's going to be crazy because this is a must-win game for Oregon too.
Yeah.
This is a playoff game. I mean,
Literally, this is a playoff play-in game.
it's a wild card. It's basically a wild card game.
Exactly. It's basically whoever wins this is going to the playoff, which is
Yeah.
crazy. And I don't think USC hasn't played in a game like this. I mean, the Notre Dame game was massive. They haven't played a game like this since Utah.
Yeah. I know. I thought you were going to say
This
ever.
is a true play-in game.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. And I think because I mean, USC and Oregon are expected to win their final games. Oregon playing Washington, USC playing UCLA, some rivalry games in there. But yeah, it's a playoff game on the road, and it's a place you haven't won in a while. But I'd argue, Lincoln's played there before. Lincoln rallied the troops there a couple years ago, and I know they lost by quite a bit, but it's not like an environment like Nebraska where USC either hasn't been there in forever or has never been there, and you just don't know what you're going to see. I think people are being too negative about USC this week. Like ESPN has a 73% chance of Oregon winning. Like that just feels really generous for a team that's been banged up.